Good morning, students. In the previous classes, we discussed about the SI system, that is Standard International System. In that, we are having 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities. And we already said that internationally, almost all countries in the world are following the SI system. Now, we'll try to discuss what are the advantages of this SI system. So basically, if you are going to the first point, this SI system cover the units for all branches of science and engineering. Maybe electrical, maybe mechanical, maybe chemical, any type of engineering, maybe civil. It covers units for all branches of science and engineering. For example, if you are taking the ampere is the unit of electric current. It is pertaining to electrical engineering. And if you are taking all the measuring units, maybe meters, centimeters and kilograms, all these they will be using in the civil engineering. And if you are going to chemical engineering, we are having a unit called as mole for measuring the quantity of substance they are using. And in different branches of science, whatever the units that are being used, that are all covered in which system? SI system. Coming to the second point, it is treated as a coherent system. Coherent system means any derived quantity can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantities. For example, if you are taking force, the dimensional formula of force is ml t power of minus 2. This mm is the mass, L is the length and T is the time. They are the fundamental quantities. If you are taking work done, that is nothing but dimensional formula is ml square T power minus 2. Again, we are able to express the work done in terms of fundamental quantities. So this is a basic system in which any derived quantity can be obtained by simple multiplication or division of fundamental quantities without using any numerical values. That's why it is treated as a coherent system. Coming to third point, that is a rational system. Rational, the word indicates that if at all you are taking any physical quantity, that should have only one particular unit. In olden days, if you are using the MKS system, if you want to measure the mechanical energy, the unit was joule. And if you want to measure the heat energy, the unit was calorie. And if you want to measure the electrical energy, the unit was watt hour. So different energies are measured with different units. But if you are taking the SI system, whatever may be the type of energy, all the energies are measured in joules. Heat energy, sound energy, light energy, mechanical energy, electric, any type of energy, the unit is only one, that is joule. And in the same way, if you are taking the force, for any type of force, the unit is simply the Newton. So for one physical quantity, we are having only one unit. So that is called as a rational system. Coming to third one or fourth one, this is a metric system. To understand the metric system, if you are taking the example of a length, the length can be measured in millimeters, meters, centimeters, kilometers, light years, astronomical unit, parsec. So depending on the length, depending on the distance, if at all large distances are used, we are using meters, kilometers, light years in that way. If at all we want to measure small distances, we are using millimeter, micrometer, nanometer in that way. So whatever the factor we are using for measuring large distance, that is called as multiples. And whatever the factor we are using for measuring small distances, that is called as submultiples. So if you want to, you can take one example. For example, we are taking 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is nothing but 1000 grams. This 1000 can be written as 10 cube grams. So this 10 cube is called as multiple. If you are taking 1 meter, is nothing but 100 centimeters. 100 can be written as 10 square. So 1 meter equal to 10 square centimeters. So in this way, we can express either large or small quantities in terms of 10 powers. So SI unit can be expressed in the powers of 10. Okay, so this type of expressing the multiples and submultiples in the powers of 10, that is called as metric system. That is called as metric system. In other words, for measuring large quantities, we are having multiples. For measuring small quantities, we are having submultiples. Next, coming to fifth one, it is an absolute system. Absolute system in the sense, it does not use any gravity. The G value or G is not considered in this system. If you want, you can take one example here. If you are taking the example of force, in MK system, it was measured as kg weight. Kg weight. But in SI system, we are having only one single quantity or single unit, that is called as Newton. So in this, the value of G is not considered. So if at all the value of G is considered, the units will be in a different manner and it leads to somewhat in a different confusions. So without the consideration of G, we are having the units. So that type of having the units is called as absolute system. And next, sixth point, they are easily reproducible. Easily reproducible. Easily reproducible in the sense, if you are taking the example of 1 kg, this 1 kg is nothing but a standard quantity used to measure the mass. This 1 kg is nothing but, it is a substance made up of platinum iridium. It is an alloy with particular dimensions. It is placed in a glass case in Paris, and that was treated as 1 kilogram. And if at all anybody want to produce that 1 kilogram weight, they have to take that particular measurements and particular material stations from the International Bureau of Weights and Measurements. International Bureau of Weights and Measurements. So when you are taking that information, and if you are preparing in your country also, that also becomes 1 kg. So that SI unit can be easily reproduced whenever you want. Next point is that they does not change with time and place. Even today or after 10 years or after 100 years also, that 1 kg or 1 meter or 1 second, whatever we are discussing here, that quantity or that measurement should not be changing. And wherever you go in the world, maybe India, Australia or America, with respect to place also, that fixed quantity should not be changing. That is the advantage of this SI system. And next point is that it does not change with local conditions such as pressure and temperature. In the world, all places are not having same temperature and same pressure. So even if that local conditions are changing also, the measurement, that is 1 kg or 1 meter or 1 second or 1 ampere, these units value will not be changing, that will not be altered. And last one is that these SI units are universally accepted. That means almost all the countries in the world, they are following the SI system. So these are some of the advantages regarding the SI units and SI system. Thank you.